There's a whole lot of walk of shames coming my way, but I can't wait to learn. Hey everybody, this time I'm doing something for the new magazine what I did for the magazine last fall, and I'm gonna try to find out, like last time with the foil, was SUP the midwife that helped foiling becoming big? The same thing appears to be a little bit with the wing. Everybody that SUPs is now on a wing. Is the wing successful because it is a nice accessory to your SUP, or is there more to it, or I'm missing completely the point? However, the new magazine is going to have a story, an idiot's guide to how to learn how to wing, and the idiot in the story is going to be me, because I haven't done any kind of winging yet. And we have Bart here. It was a nice visit here to go see Bart, and maybe we can discuss this with him, because Bart is knee-deep in the industry. He's a windsurfer by trade and owns a store here on Maui where people can rent all sorts of equipment. So if anybody would know, then it would probably him, knows the best. So as I mentioned, do you feel, or do you see like that, and let me take my glasses off here. So I feel, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, that I'm not a windsurfer guy. I suck at it. I have never really learned it, but this wing really made me want to become a wing surfer, wind sports guy. And I thought, like, oh great, I don't need to go buy equipment. I have an 8.2 109 liter wave SUP with a quad fin setup, and perfect. I'll use this and I can learn how to wing. Is this like how people get into, and is that the point of the wing?
It's the way how to get into winging, but it's the point of the wing for me is that you use it with a foil.
Okay.
Because then you get the three-dimensional feeling that you're up in the air, and it's a whole different feeling. It's like powder snowboarding.
Right.
But to start to get there, the stand-up board is the perfect board to learn, because you need something bigger. You need something where you can first put your knees on and then slowly stand up. And first of all, to wing, you need to learn how to use the wind and use the wing. And it's easier if you do that without the foil.
Yes, so you can take any kind of SUP, and you probably want to do it in a light wind, maybe a 10-15 knots tops.
Yeah, you need to have pressure, but you don't want to be blown off your board. And it even helps, I think, to go first on the beach or on land for a little bit, just to see what happens with the wing, because it's a little different than windsurfing. Windsurfing, you open and close. If you want power, you close. If you want less power, you open.
Okay.
With the wing, actually, you can open close, but you can also put the backhand up or down, and it makes the wing goes like this, horizontal or more vertical, and which makes a huge difference. So you have to feel what happens, and you can do that on the beach. If you learn, like I used it 5 minutes on the beach, then you had that feeling, then I went on the water, and then you have to combine that with being on the water and try to stay upwind. So try to come back to the same place.
So that's very helpful advice for all of you that are trying it out there. I don't own a wing yet, but I want one at some point for sure. But the simplicity of it really seems to be the thing that, like, everybody has a SUP. This wing, you can put it in a package so little, and you can go learn it on your 14-foot SUP or on your wave SUP or whatever you have laying around there. You kind of go get your feet wet, and then maybe the foil will come in when you advance in the later stage.
Yeah, for some people it's an hour. Like I came from windsurfing, so for me it was very easy to get into it. But if you come from totally new, you need a few times on the wing without the foil.
That would be me.
And to learn how to go up and down, because you want to come back to the same place where you came from. If you can do that, and if you can somehow transition, turn around.
Yeah.
Then you can start. If you can do those things, you're ready to go on a foil.
And that brings me actually to an interesting question, I think, is, so with my SUP that I have, that I'm doing it has 4 small fins in the back, and of course it doesn't have a dagger board, and I did the walk of shame who knows how many times. That's walking back up the beach with all your gear. Very common for windsurf beginners or kite beginners, I guess. So do you think maybe, like, if you add a foil, you have, like, kind of like a dagger board, is that helpful then in tracking up the wind? Or?
A little bit, because the problem is it's in the back. So it doesn't make
right.
So what we do, if we have a beginner, we put them on a windsurfing beginner board. big board, way too big,
Right.
with a center board in the
With
middle.
the center board, okay.
So anything with a center board or middle fin is better than a stand-up, but most people only have a stand-up, so it works too. It's just you'll lose a little more ground, and
Okay.
you have to do a little more walks of shame.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Well, that makes sense. So,
So it's
perfect.
not you, it was the board.
Yeah, no, it was definitely me on that one. Well, that's very cool. So here you have it. And I just like for me, again, this whole thing comes in simplicity. I can have this thing in my car. There's low wind. You can go tour around. Do you see a chance there, a commercial chance for like places where, you know, like say like our market in Germany, a lot of people landlocked, and they go buy themselves an inflatable board and they use it a little bit, you know, not too serious. Do you see a same chance for the wing, or do you have to be a little bit more
No,
ambitious for it?
I think it's a huge chance to, because being on a lake in the middle of Germany, for me it's not very inviting, challenging. There's no big waves, but this makes it all worthwhile, because now suddenly it's 3D surfing. It makes it so much more challenging, and you can go with so little wind. Like the 4 meter I have, I use it from between 10 and 35 knots.
Wow.
Same wing in all those conditions. You cannot imagine that with a windsurf board. Of course, it's not ideal. It's better between, let's say, 13 and 24.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But you can use it without a problem. So you need so little gear, and you can do it anywhere where there's water, as long as it's deep enough. I know there's a few lakes where it's too
Right,
little.
with the
You
foil.
need at least a meter, let's say a meter
Yeah.
of water.
Yeah, I see people are already thinking about touring with a foil and have an SUP that they can fold up the foil. They can fold up the wing. They can paddle somewhere and then they wing back, and they're thinking about getting into touring and all of that. So that sounds to me another aspect that we might see people going over long distances.
Yeah, yes. Actually, I'm just about to do a test on a 10-foot board, which you can foil also. Mm-hmm. And Starboard is actually coming out with something like that in the future, I hope. But I happen to have something which we tried to foil on some time ago. So I think it's a perfect combination, that you can have a bigger board where you can tour on, you can foil on, you can just pedal on, everything.
And then use the wing when the wind is right. You can use the wing, and if there's no wind, then you can paddle.
Yes, of course, it's always a compromise, so it's not as radical. Because
Right.
we with the wing now, we try to go the board as short as possible.
Right.
Because it's, as soon as you're up in the air, you don't need any board almost.
Right.
To get up, you need some board. So that you need a combination of just enough volume to get up, and then up in the air, it's nice to have as little as possible.
Makes sense. Well, that very cool. So the simplicity of the wing and the diversity of the wing, it certainly has sparked my interest, even though I don't own a foil board to go along with it. But it doesn't matter. There's a whole lot of walk of shames coming my way, but I can't wait to learn and one day maybe go up on this. And you can read more about this then in a German version in my next print magazine. Super cool. Thank you so much for it. Aloha.